cold. 48 hours later, here he is being asked to do it again.
Yeah, that is a concern, but they would not be starting him today. They have other great biathletes here on standby, so Svensson would have been medically checked over. He would have confirmed that he's up for this and that he can do this. Pfeiffer is losing, another couple of seconds. It was 8.2, so Terje Bo is absolutely flying, trying to get as much advantage for Svensson as possible. I'm pleased to say, as the final handover to Svensson, Pete BAUER has gone and shot 10 with 10, as did Kevin Kane for the British team.
So away goes Svensson, and he looks his normal focused self. Eric Lesser, the pressure is on. A medal will be enough for Germany to breathe a sigh of relief. But if it was a gold medal, I think even the coaches would breathe a sigh of relief, Mike. And Lesser already looks to me as though he's given away half a second in the first 50 metres.
You know, didn't he look frightened there, almost paralysed with fear? He wasn't floating, he wasn't flowing. That's a slight worry.
The Austrian medal is not secure quite yet. Christoph Suman, give him credit, he's done very well, Suman, to hold on to or to move into third place. But the French are closing with Alexei Berf now just 6 seconds behind. And Garanichev trying to hang on to the tail of Alexei Berf is being dragged along in fifth position. But it is still a position where they can attack, because Russia on the final leg have Dmitry Malishko, who on his day is lightning quick, lying fourth in the World Cup standings. You don't do that without putting in some fabulous performances.
Oh, absolutely. His skiing form, they'll remember, after Christmas, he said they had a great time at Christmas. He came back mentally refreshed. He really has dropped off a little way since then. And as for Garanichev, must be going through turmoil. To only hit 3 targets out of 8 shots, it's really not good biathlon.
Dominic Landertinger with only a few metres advantage over the French. And the French, of course, calling on Martin Fourcade to try and close the gap. 1:27 to make up. If he gets the gold medal, it will be the greatest recovery in a World Championship relay. But it is highly unlikely. 1:27. Most of the front runners, Norway and Germany, Mike, are, 850 metres clear?
It's huge, but don't write off talent. Remember Björn Dahlin at Nagano Olympic Games. He was 150 behind in 5th place. He moved up into 2nd place, only 12 seconds behind Germany.
Czech Republic in 6th, 1:56. They've lost a little bit more on that last lap. And now Krzyzmarz is on course for them.
Look at the German shooting, the only team to have not missed even one shot.
Well, that's a fantastic record. We've seen 41 shots required, but not 40 in recent years. Svensson goes past the British team without too much trouble. Pete BAUER out on the course for Great Britain at the moment. And just ahead of them, team number 23, that's Romania. Gabăcia is getting a bit of Svensson's medicine as well. Just shows how strong he is on the uphill climbs, Mike.
Oh, fearsomely strong. And Eric Lesser,
15.2. I think when they came in for the exchange, it was 16 seconds. So, well, Lesser's closing a little at this stage, but we should get another intermediate at 2 kilometres, and we'll see whether he's managed to keep that pace going.
Well done, Lesser. He doesn't look overly relaxed, but he's such a strong athlete. He's covering huge distance with each press through the skis. Or is Svensson a little off form? He certainly doesn't look it.
What tactics would you employ if you were Svensson, and knowing that you had a good advantage in terms of ski speed over the team in second? Is it all about pacing and making sure?
I think it's about keeping your own pace as strong, like Svensson knows best. But if he's in decent form, to keep pressing and pressing and pressing to damage Lesser more than it's damaging Svensson. It's becoming quite soft now, the tracks, Patrick. It's like sugar. It's all broken up.
I was going to say 15 seconds may sound a lot, but it's only one mistake on the downhill section, and that advantage will vanish in an instant. France moving up into the bronze medal position now.
They were 1:27.
They're still 1:27, so making no impression on the leaders. Landertinger hanging on to the French, and Malishko trying to make up for the mistakes from Garanichev. who is he still in the finish area, Mike, or has he been whisked away for a debrief?
I saw him as he came across for about 2 minutes. He was just devastated, shaking his head. And he really hasn't been in biathlon too long, Garanashev. He was a former cross-country skier, junior world champion. He picked the skills up quickly, but maybe he's just not used to the pressure. He showed it last year. He wasn't used to the pressure at the World Championships.
Svensson keeps the double dance going. Much harder to pace it when you're out on your own. But to his advantage, he does have a lot of Norwegian fans. In fact, most of the Norwegians have gone for the expensive tickets and got themselves into the stadium. So there won't be too many Norwegian cheers out on the track. But it's... Well, we know, Mike, we skied around the track. There are only about 6 spectators there, but even that makes you work that little bit harder.
Well, there's more today. Have a look at the hill on the left. There's a few flags draped over. And these are some lap teams. It's Romania getting past soon.
15.2 last time, and now the gap is growing. So Lesser put an effort in on the first part of the climb to pay the price on the second. We've seen that already many times today.
That's so true. But remember, of course, Svensson, having not raced the 20-kilometre 2 days ago, really, you should be feeling certainly better than Fourcade from Lesser. In fact, most of the rest of the athletes who took part in the 20.
And the significance of the 20-second gap is that Svensson can certainly afford to miss 2 targets, provided he doesn't go onto the penalty loop. He should be able to come out level with Germany. So it's going to come down to the last shoot if anyone is going to overtake Norway. A penalty loop, well, that could change everything. Well, many teams being lapped, they will keep going until the very last shoot to get their position, but we won't get a finishing time for those teams that have been lapped. The British, unfortunately, have been lapped after a poor, shaky start from Jackson on leg 1. Kevin Kane, a really good second leg. But as you said at the start, Mike, if they all perform to their best ability on the same day, you get a good result. But we've said that about the Americans, we've said it about the Ukrainians, we always say it about the Swedes.
You need to have 4 reliable men. There's no more reliable than Svensson.
First one centre, second one over to the right, third one in between the 2 shots. A little bit low. Where's number 5 going? Straight down, and the job made that little bit easier. So, Norway looking for gold number 7. They already have the record haul of gold medals from a World Championships. But in the past, they didn't have as many races as they have today. We've added the pursuit, then the mass start, now the mixed relay. Good shooting from Lesser. Good shooting. He's still there. And from 20 seconds behind, he might have closed it a little. He did not take any caution on that shoot whatsoever. He's got it down to 18, so there's still a chance for Germany.
So impressive from Lesser there. He knows he's got the legend Martin Fourcade chasing him, but it's still a long way. Fourcade's lost 7 seconds to Svensson, Patrick. I'm a little surprised. Fourcade just either pacing it or thinking this gap is just too big.
Or thinking mass start tomorrow.
15 kilometres tomorrow. It can't but be in the back of his mind, but I suppose he's got to go tactically here. He's maybe in his mind thinking this is for bronze medal.
France and Austria side by side, and then Malishko for Russia. Fourcade with the best record in all departments so far this year. Well, it's a very slow shoot, just like we saw in the individual from Martin Fourcade. Austria are going to get away first of this group of 3. Malishko with a rare mistake. The Frenchman, is he just making sure? I think that's what it's all about, Mike. And now he'll turn on the turbos, gain on the Austrians, and then hope to outshoot them. But if he wants to be sure of the bronze medal, maybe he needs to try and gain 10-15 seconds on lap 2.
Well, the interesting thing, normally Fourcade outskis everybody on the track, so he can afford to take 7 seconds longer on the range, but not today. He's shooting side by side with Landetinger.
Now, this needs to be quick if the Czech Republic are going to claim a medal. We saw a lot of teams crack on shoot number 8. In fact, only 3 shot clear on shoot number 8 in the women's race yesterday. Good shooting, good and fast, and that's what the crowd wanted to see. They needed a bit more of that earlier on in the race, but it will keep them ahead of some of their big rivals who have yet to take their penultimate shoot. The leaders, Norway, 1:03.18 at this stage. Remember, it's a 4 by 7.5, so total distance 30 kilometers. $18 seconds just the margin between 1 and 2. Well, Norway last year, winning in Ruhpolding, missed more targets than the top 3 teams have missed altogether so far in this race. Germany still to miss a target. That is fantastic. And if they keep that going, they certainly deserve a pat on the back, Mike. And it'll be some positive news to take into the rest of the World Cup. Austria only 3 misses. Norway only 4. Extraordinary. The French with 5 misses. And then Russia in 5th position. Those 2 penalty loops from Garanichev, putting them out of contention for the top spot. But they're not out of contention for a bronze medal, and you've got to hope for Garanichev's sake that Malishko can do that.
Well, he won't be flavour of the month. That's Japan falling ahead of Svensson.
Well, I thought for a moment it might have been Svensson, which would have had a few Norwegian minds and hearts fluttering, but Svensson reacted quickly. No panic at all. That's it's nice to see, actually, Mike, because it gives you some idea of how fast and how difficult that downhill section is. A little bit of ice maybe under the skis.
Well, Wakamatsu was lucky. I don't know how he saved himself. Maybe it was because Svensson was behind him. How did he get out of this? This is fast. Good man.
Yeah, good recovery. Very good recovery indeed. He lost 50 metres or so, but no damage done in terms of position. Now, this is the crucial stage. Svensson's still some 18 seconds clear of Germany. Still no sign of Erik Lesser, who I think might have lost a couple more seconds, just appearing in the background. He's about 150 metres behind. Will the great champion be able to seal gold number 4? The mixed relay, the sprint, the pursuit. And of course the men's relay will mean every bit as much as those individual races.
Amazing, yeah, 3 straight gold, 3 races here. His 4th time out. It is a pity he wasn't feeling well for the individual, the 20 kilometre.
Now, how many men have won? All women have won 4 golds.
Certainly Bjørn Dalen has.
Liv Greta Poiré. Bjørn Dalen did it in the Olympic Games in 2002. He cleaned up there with the relay, the sprint, the pursuit and the individual.
So it's only been done, what, 3-4 times.
Raphael Poiré, of course, had a fantastically successful World Championships in Oberhof back in 2004. But the record books are likely to be rewritten today if Svensson can clear the last 5 targets. Poiré getting 3, I think it was, in Oberhof, because